Let us continue now in a mode of prayer as we come together to lift up the joys, the concerns, the thanksgivings that we might have for ourselves or for other persons. As we come together this morning, let's continue to remember Rob Moore as he recovers from the unexpected surgery he had a couple of Fridays ago. Let's also keep Dennis Ashley in our prayers. Lots of unexpected things keep happening to Dennis. He was taken to the ER yesterday with pancreatitis, and he is back home and waiting to get in to see a doctor, I'm sure, this week. So please keep them in your prayers. Also continue to pray for Robert Holbrook as he seeks a second opinion on the lymphoma that he has been diagnosed with. Are there other things we need to lift up in prayer this morning? Christie?
Last week I asked for prayers for Inez Blevins. She's one of the Pink Lady volunteers up at the hospital. Last Sunday she was on a ventilator. She came off of that later Sunday and was awake and talking. She had a second stent put in earlier this week, and she's still at Holston Valley right now. They're just she's having some medication stabilization issues, and they're trying to get those worked out, but she's doing much better but still needs some healing prayers.
Okay. Debbie?
I have a few. One is a friend of ours, Chris Benson from Bluefield. He had some serious heart surgery a couple weeks ago, and if we could pray for continual healing for him. We have another friend, Linda Douthit, who will be going in for surgery tomorrow for some breast cancer and then some follow-up radiation treatments. So if you could please keep her in our prayers. And also Janice Triplett. We've been praying for her and Ron. And Ron passed away this week. They had the celebration of his life last night. So if you could please keep Janice in your prayers. Appreciate it.
In the back. And Joe?
Yesterday I ran into Betty Fannin. I know a lot of people know her because she and her husband used to play Mr. and Mrs. Claus for the float, and without divulging too much, she told me she's got some considerable health problems. So just keep Betty Fannin in your prayer. And also I have a joy, and that is that the Trail of the Lonesome Pine drama is over for the summer. And my joy is that Paul Clark was a great helpmate to my husband, and we're very blessed to have someone as wonderful as him in our community.
Amen.
I have one.
Okay.
My mom celebrated a birthday this past week. She's 87, and if you all will just keep her in your prayers, it's just, it's kind of sad when you have somebody that you've looked up to your whole life, and the person you know is not here anymore.
Okay. Keep Diane's mom in our prayers. She had a birthday this week, 87. What else? Let's go before the Lord in prayer. Thank you so much for touching our lives, God, for being a sure presence in our midst, for being that rock upon which our faith is built, for being there in those difficult times when we need some place to turn. We're just so grateful, so appreciative, so glad, so happy about that aspect of your nature. Help us to be more like that. Help us to be more steadfast. Help us to be more loyal. Help us to be there when people need us. Help us to emulate you in the way that we live out our lives as individuals and as part of this Christ body that we call the Trinity United Methodist Church. Thank you for each of the concerns that we have lifted. Thank you for the opportunity we have had to bring many of these concerns before you week after week, and we just ask your abiding grace and presence to be with those families that have experienced loss, that you would bring healing into those places where individuals need your healing touch, that you would help us to indeed open our spiritual eyes to see the world around us and to see the need and to see the ways in which we can minister as we seek to be the people that you have called us to be. We ask all these things in the name of Christ, who has taught us to pray. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory forever. Amen.